entertains, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn!
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Have you ever known someone that seemed totally genuine? Your conversations were engaging, and you agreed on so much. But then it happened. While claiming to have your back, they violated your trust, and you learned that much of your relationship was a lie. Making matters worse, maybe even blamed yourself, wondering what you did wrong. Now, if this sounds familiar, then you and I have something in common. We've both been manipulated. And I bet those who don't think they've been manipulated probably don't realize it yet. In fact, as we speak, it is likely that someone, somewhere, is planning to manipulate you. And because it happens to everyone, it's not only more common than we think, but it shows how little we know about how to prepare ourselves for it. As a professor who studied manipulation for more than 2 decades, I think we need to fix that. It's unacceptable to me that the science of manipulation has done little to help those being manipulated. We have failed you as a science. So I want to talk about how to recognize different types of manipulative people and what to do when you find yourself face to face with them. We can learn to turn the tables on these manipulative types by using their strategic thinking against them. With romance schemes, catfishing, investment fraud, and workplace manipulation all around us, the study of manipulation has never been more important. But the study of manipulative people has a fragmented history. There were forensic researchers studying psychopathy. There were clinical researchers studying narcissism. And there were behavioral researchers studying Machiavellianism. Now, you've probably heard the term psychopath or sociopath. You've almost certainly heard the term narcissist before. Maybe even used it to describe an ex. But many don't know what we mean by Machiavellianism, the masters of manipulation. And a lot of people don't even pronounce it right. Niccolo Machiavelli was a political advisor who advocated for ruthless and duplicitous tactics. And those who agreed with Machiavelli's philosophy tended to be manipulative in their personal lives. Machiavellianism represents a cautious and rational way of gaining power. They manipulate, but they do so strategically, which makes them exceptionally dangerous. And there are no warnings or obvious signs. Individuals high in Machiavellianism seek power any way they can get it, and they're in it for the long run. When referring to all 3 traits, psychopathy, narcissism, and Machiavellianism, researchers simply call them the dark triad. In 2002, my mentor, Del Paulus, and his student, Kevin Williams, wanted to draw.
What if that's your mom? Or your father? You're a child of someone who is under the influence of the dark triad. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to The Voice of Reason live on KBLA Talk 1580. We're asking the question, are you the little black sheep in your family? The scapegoat, the one that all of the blame shifts to? Are you that person in your intimate relationships? Or are you that person at work? It is a powerful topic tonight. We are on complete fire. I'm going to the phone lines right now. Let me get my brother Nazarene X from Atlanta, Georgia in the building. Nazarene, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic after that extended setup?
Time is on my side. That's what I think.
Yeah. So tell me, man, what are your thoughts?
First of all, I love and salute. Thanks to you, per usual.
Mm-hmm.
I apparently, you know that term, dumb it down?
Mm-hmm.
I always have a problem with that because I don't feel like everybody is stupid. I guess it's that connotation, denotation, or the lames, the uneducated, or the vulgar, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Check this out. I know that they say what that's the Shakespeare thing, life is a play or the world is a stage and all that crap.
Yeah. The world is a stage and everyone plays their part and have their entrances and exits. I paraphrase, but go ahead. Yeah.
I'm with you. I ain't really listened to white folk with wigs on that I never met in the first place. They made the rules to the drama and exit stage left and all of that type of stuff, right? And beings of rhythm, when I first saw the topic and noticed that same repetitive collection of characters, which we call letters, which will identify once we pronounce it as a name, like that dude Azazel. Like he was in that same movie, or that entity was acknowledged through that same movie called Deja Vu.
Oh, really?
Denzel.
I didn't know he was in 2 Denzel movies. Uh-oh. You know the conspiracy theorists will get busy. They'll be like, see, Denzel is part of the Illuminati. They'll go right there.
This last debaters. Who was the judge? See, Denzel was in that movie too.
Yeah,
The Great Debaters.
The Great Debaters.
So, like, again, who the judge? The judge is God. Why is he God? Look, we could go do this all day. So, like, that's what I'm saying. I tend to basically acknowledge out loud on the devil's internet, on the radio, this and the third, while abiding by all the rules that I've never read or agreed to in the first place with FCCs and all that. I don't know, y'all. Like, we saying talking to strangers, yet I know there's an energy that feels familiar. Either we going to get glimmery or we going to proceed with peace as the beings of light which we are. And in the same, it's like just the rhythm of masquerading as a being of light. I believe that once we all grow up and get a glimmer of hope or can kind of, quote unquote, see ourselves one way or another, right and wrong. You know the difference when we feel like somebody's faking it, including ourselves, right?
Right.
So whether it's Azazel or Azul or Rumpelstiltskin, like, I don't know. I got a billion names. I ain't got to look. Where the yams at?
Where the yams at? What?
Look, this one, we got to just kind of, once it's all that covert type of stuff, like, pardon the through lines, but we're not supposed to covet what belongs to somebody else. Like, it's one thing to keep something sacred to your heart, to keep it covered, as in, like, yo, this is special to me. Like, once we get back to that vein of self-authorship, which is, again, different sentiments which your works represent and echo, it's like, look, we can define what's hidden at the end of the day. Like, so I'm not here to agree or play by nobody else's rules. Like, that's the beauty of slang, for real. Like, you a demon, you a powerful spirit. Me too. I got, it's a lot of energy over here. You feel me? Like, we're not as separate or foreign to one another as we might be led to believe. So, in simplicity, where the word will be like, we wrestle not against the flesh, but with the principalities and the higher space. Like, at the end of the day, it's mistakes, it's people going wrong, but as long as I can differentiate that and say, like, look, okay, in this version of reality that I subscribe to or that I'm walking, this look like what's real to me. Represent that to the fullest, keep your integrity, and those that are in alignment with that will help you get to a place where you can help them do the same. That's what we all want to do. Everything else gonna work itself out, and I believe the yams is on the winner side. So
the yams is on the winner side. Hey, nephew, guess what you just did, brother?
ACL, Slum Lama Ding Dong.
ATL in the building. Love you, Nazarene X. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Let's bounce over to Detroit, Michigan. We got Ali Isla on the phone. What up?
Peace and blessings. It's Ali, good brother.
What's up, good brother? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Man, it's like I said, it's like one of those when you go to church and you feel like the pastor just made that just for you walking in the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, really, what I think on it, man, it's like I married a professional gaslighter, and how you put it as far as to say we attract what we are.
Mm-hmm.
So part of me being in the phases of the 3 A's and acknowledging and atoning and apologizing for what I've done wrong,
mm-hmm.
I can see like she say I got too much pride and somewhat of a God complex. I can see that can be like a little extra for somebody. So, I feel like on the topic of being the scapegoat, I feel we do it to ourselves sometimes, and then we have demands and expectations that we know people ain't gonna live up to,
mm-hmm.
and we don't necessarily communicate it the best ways to go about it. That's why I listen to you, and I'm trying to learn to be better at communicating. So I just wanted to say that and go get out the way. I know we ain't got much time.
No, hold on. Why does your wife say you have a God complex? Because anybody with a God complex, I mean, that's like a backhanded way of saying you're a narcissist, like this grandiose personality. Have you ever taken a narcissism test? Have you ever gone to therapy? I'm just asking, like, why would she paint you in that?
Go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
Why would she paint that picture of you?
Yeah, because I have done those things, and then I'm a person, I look at my life on the 3 scales. I said I'm not just a physical being, I'm a spiritual and a mental being. Mm-hmm. And by me saying that, or saying like I'm chasing to be more like God, more so than to live on the physical. So by me saying that, in some ways to her, makes her think like I want to be, when I say God like, I mean like LITE. Not like I want to be God. I want to be in his class. I want to be in his mindset to think and act and control my environment.
Right. You're not Lucifer, like who coveted God's seat. Right.
Right.
I could be God here instead of him. You're not that. You're basically saying, I want to raise in consciousness. I want to evolve to, the God level consciousness, or, some spiritualists call it Christ consciousness, right? Christ consciousness, right? I just want to come to Christ consciousness, that kind of thing. Okay, that's not narcissism. You've heard me say this a million times. There's people with narcissistic tendencies, and then there are people that can be clinically diagnosed with MPD. Now, the question is, have you looked at your family? Who raised you? Your mother. Have you looked at your attachment style, right? Do you know your attachment style? Does she know hers? This goes back to the relationship being a mirror thing. Ross Rosenberg's book on the human magnet syndrome is the clinical version of what I would pair with that. A book I would pair with that would be Krishnamurti's Relationship as a Mirror. So Krishnamurti is philosophy, Ross Rosenberg is psychology. So if you get Ross Rosenberg's human magnet syndrome and you get Krishnamurti's Relationship as a Mirror, and you read both the philosophical and the psychological, you'll have a stronger understanding of you get who you are. You get what you are. Because understand, a narcissist and an SLD, according to Ross Rosenberg, that's his term that he uses to supplant the term codependent. SLD, self-love deficient disorder, they are irrevocably attracted to each other. So that's,
I think that's what it is.
That's the mirror thing.
Okay.
So my question is, what are you? Anxious, preoccupied. It has to be some kind of insecure attachment style. Anxious, preoccupied, dismissive, avoidant, fearful, avoidant, right? And I don't believe that those styles are hard and fast. I believe that there is a melding and a merging of those different styles. So you would have to discover all of that and then discover what your wife is so you could understand the psychological lesson as well as the philosophical lesson, when combined, takes us to a spiritual understanding of why you two are together. That makes sense?
Yeah, perfect sense.
Right. So I think this call was meant to come through because I just need you to understand this is what self-awareness is about. Like, who you are in this play that is called your relationship. Right? Many of us play the role that our gender demands, but are we playing and filling the role that our spirit demands? So you have to figure that out, Ali.
Hey, so just a question and thought in my head, and this. So what I was thinking and how I put it, like I was raised in a house where I had to love myself and appreciate myself, and you know what I'm saying, boast myself to certain areas. And she was raised in a house where she was made to feel low and down, and where she still like some of that self-doubt and, you know what I'm saying, self-love issues. So like that's why I say that as far as the magnet being attracted on that foot, is it a phase where I got too much in that area of that to where I need to give some of that to her and take some of that what she got and basically humble myself, and we can balance it out for the benefit for our kid.
Well, let me just say this. A lot of times people paint I came from a healthy family dynamic. A healthy family dynamic is not a perfect family dynamic. Many people think healthy means perfect and there's no issues, there's no there's no problems. Many people think the same way when they take an attachment style test and the test comes out and says you're secure. They think, okay, secure means I'm good to go. But all of the insecure attachments can pull the securely attached to the insecure side, whether it be avoidant or anxious, right? It could pull them to that side. So there is no real perfect side here. So if your family raised you to love on yourself, self-love, to appreciate yourself, that is a good thing. But understand, that's just part of the story. Do you know what wounds your mother and father, if they were in the house together teaching that philosophy, do you know what wounds they were teaching that philosophy through? What was the impetus of them teaching you that? And did they reconcile their own internal beef? And I'm not saying your mother and father had beef. I'm saying beef with themselves spiritually.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because just like communication, 60% of communication is body language. And you think just because you didn't say something in front of your kid that your kid didn't pick up the nuance, the energy change in the room, the vibe on you, your hands folded, and the smirk on your face. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like you probably still picked up some dysfunction even though it was couched in empowerment. Stay with me. Don't go nowhere, Ali. Ali from Detroit got us cooking. Let's go.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA Can also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA Can believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, when it all, all falls down.
This the real one, baby.
I'm telling you,
Chi-Town stand up. South side, we gon' set this party off right. West side, we gon' set this party off right. Man, I promise. She's so self-conscious, she has no idea what she doing in college. That major that she majored in don't make no money, but she won't drop out, her parents will look at her funny. Now, tell me that ain't insecure. The concept of school seems so secure. Sophomore 3 years, ain't picked a career. She like, it, I'll just stay down her and do it, cause that's enough money to buy her a few pairs of new ears, cause her baby daddy don't really care. She's so precious, with the peer pressure, couldn't afford a car, so she named her daughter Alexis. Yeah, hair so long that it looked like weave. Then she cut it all off, now she look like Eve. And she be dealing with some issues that you can't believe. Single black female, addicted to retail and well. And when it falls down, who you gonna call now? Come on.
When you come out of complex trauma, you develop ways of relating to survive. And those kept you safe, the ways you learn to relate. But what you find is as you get older, they don't work so well anymore. But it's important to go back and really understand your relationship style and why you relate the way you relate. When we talk about complex trauma, one of the terms that I use regularly is a dysfunctional family. And I have had many hundreds of people say to me, everybody's got a dysfunctional family. We all are dysfunctional. And what goes on in their mind is this distinction that goes, the only other option to dysfunction is perfect. So nobody's got a perfect family, so we're all dysfunctional. And that seems to make sense. But it really misses an important piece. And that is dysfunctional. The opposite isn't perfect, the opposite is functional. But what does that mean? So the word dys for dysfunctional actually means in pain. And so what we mean when we say a dysfunctional family, it's a family that's in pain and a family that can't resolve pain. So let me broaden that for you.
Stop. If you were blamed for the pain in your family, scapegoat, the goat who left, the goat who shook it, if you were the scapegoat, the little black sheep in your family, like you said, dysfunction, can't cope with pain. If that is you, this is your topic, you should call in tonight. Because trust me, if you haven't reconciled that burden, you're going to make it into a relationship expectation that somebody should come in and help you shoulder it. That's your spirit work, not your significant other. Because trust and believe, if you walk into that relationship shouldering that kind of pain, understand the concept of relationship being a mirror, all things being equal, they're going to have a burden equally as burdensome as yours, with the expectation that you should co-carry. Go ahead, let it finish.
Families have hard times. All families have bad things that happen. A functional family is able to deal with those things, resolve it, and come out the better for it. So there are functional families. So to be a functional family doesn't mean you never go through hard times. All families do. What makes it a dysfunctional family is it can't resolve that pain. And so the members of the family live in unresolved pain, which leads to the piling up of pain. And that is the reality of a dysfunctional family. And so what we're going to see as we go into this is that children growing up in pain, they begin to go in their mind, what do I need to do? And they have 3 different priorities in their mind. What do I need to do is in how I relate so that I don't get hurt again. Secondly, what can I do as a kid that will help this family in pain? And thirdly, how do I get my needs met in this family that is in a lot of pain? And so that's where the roles come into play. In a family of complex trauma, a dysfunctional family, there's the one child that's referred to as the troublemaker. They're the ones that's defiant, rebellious, angry all the time, and he just won't get with the program and smarten up. Now let me say this right up front. Of all the roles that we're going to look at, the problem child is the one person in the family that is being honest. Everybody else is lying, both to each other and to themselves. What is going on in the scapegoat or the problem child is they're saying this family is sick. And I'm not going to lie about that. We're messed up. And everybody walks around like we love each other and like all our
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Independent Senator Joe Manchin will not endorse Vice President Harris. This comes after Harris's promise to gut the chamber's filibuster rule to pass a bill codifying abortion rights. The West Virginia independent senator told CNN that he will not back her as a presidential candidate over the move. He said this week, quote, shame on her, end quote, adding that, quote, she knows the filibuster is the holy grail of democracy, end quote. San Diego, California is hosting events, giveaways, and readings to celebrate National Banned Book Week. According to the American Library Association's Office for Intellectual Freedom, more than 4,000 book titles were targeted for censorship nationwide in 2023 alone, primarily those written by LGBTQ+ authors or people of color. San Diego County Supervisor Tara Lawson-Remer says the county is promoting the censorship week at all county libraries. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Looking for a better way to get around LA? SoCal 511 gives you real-time traffic alerts to help you find faster ways around LA County so you can enjoy more time with family, friends, and doing things that matter to you. Visit SoCal511.com or dial 511 on your phone.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader. Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes, why should we be silent? Turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation for KBLA Talk 1580.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV. October 2nd is California Clean Air Day. It's your chance to ride Metro for free. You'll be helping make the air cleaner and our roads less crowded. Let's clear the air together and make Los Angeles healthier. Check out metro.net for more info. Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey LA, today I'm here to talk to you about Grid Alternatives, which is a nonprofit in LA that focuses on renewable energy. We serve communities who have been left out of the renewable energy sector. We offer paid job training, and in 13 weeks, you can become a solar installer. 80% of our graduates get hired into the industry, and once you're hired in the industry, you stop at a high, medium income. That could be $20 an hour or more. 80% of our graduates get hired into the industry. Call today so you don't be left out at 323-861-0105 or gridalternatives.org, gridalternatives.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, services and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I grew up on the crime side, the New York Times side. Staying alive was no job, had second hands. Moms bounced on old men, so then we moved to Shallon Land. A young youth, you're rocking the gold tooth. Low goose, only way I began to G-York was drug loot. And let's start it like this, son. Rolling with this one and that one, pulling out gats for fun. But it was just a dream for the teen who was a fiend. Started smoking wools at 16 and running up in gates and doing hits for high stakes. Making my way off fire escapes. No question I was speed for cracks and weed. The combination made my eyes bleed. No question I would flow off and try to get the dough off. Sticking up right boys on ball courts. My life got no better. Same damn low sweater. Times is rough and tough like leather.
The scapegoat child's role and symptoms in narcissistic abuse. Well, I believe that it is possible to find relief from the scapegoat role and its symptoms. The scapegoat role is an experience that happens in interaction with a narcissistic abuser. And this is why the second pillar of recovery, getting distance from a narcissistic abuser, is so important. Survivors need to protect themselves from more experience, which requires them to inhabit the role of scapegoat. And in Module 3 of my online course for recovery from narcissistic abuse, I go into just this topic. I address the challenges in creating such distance. It can be actually more difficult to create distance from a narcissistic parent than from a good enough parent. Finally, I offer concrete strategies to achieve the needed distance from a narcissistic parent.
Heavy stuff. The VOR back in the building. Let's get back to these callers. Reverend Soulflower, Las Vegas, Nevada. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Hey. Welcome
Peace
to the show.
Guys. Peace and love. Yes, I feel so... Thank you for asking, God. I feel so grateful to be here tonight. I've been in a lot of different energies, and this one just really... It's refreshing that it's being talked about, and it was also a bit triggering, right? Being that energy and exploring that, in a really good way. Thank you for asking. Thank you for holding space for that. I wanted to start from the top and flow through, but I'll start at the one that stood out most to me. Kind of the tactics that are used within the family unit to kind of isolate the one that, is looked at as, being different, right? Like as the brother just said a moment ago, as being of a different story. And so that was just, isolation's one of the things, where people are considered not valuable. They can't think for themselves. Like, why won't you, like you said, get with the program? Like, hey, we're all doing this. Why are you thinking about this?
Right.
Why are you moving this way? And, a lot of the melanated families, they're in so much trauma as it relates to, it's generational, right? It's a lot of trauma. So we're scared to peel back those layers. We'd rather let the layers pile on than actually take the wound off and take the Band-Aid off and say, okay, well, this has been happening for quite some time. Maybe we can analyze it through this experience that's happening, as opposed to shunning the one that's bringing the light to the fact that, hey, these experiences are abnormal as a mother, So it's a pleasurable journey, right? Because you get a chance to view it and take on the energy of like, yes, I get to do this for my bloodline. I get to do this for my children, my children's children, and like seeing it all the way through. But it's very heavy, though. It's heavy because you deal with the reality of people not seeing you, that you, of course, you want the love and the support and the respect of, right? Initially, right? You grow out of it and you learn to accept everything is what it is. But, these are the people that you look to for that support and that extra, okay, great, you're going in the right direction. And, fortunately, I've been able to support a few family members with seeing that it's not just a total loss, right? But, early on, I remember so many years of doing this work and journeying and like, hey, y'all, let's really talk about this. Let's not keep this going on. Let's find some type of solution. Let's really sit down and talk about some things. And nobody really wants to talk. And so I began to, absorb the information and just see how everybody gets down, right? And then take more of like a merciful energy. My heart was really humbled at knowing through intentional work how heavy and hard this shit is, and knowing why somebody would look at it and be like, nah, I'm cool, Right, nah, let's just keep going this way instead of really dial into that energy. So it's refreshing, it's just heavy. And so it's beautiful to have spaces where we can come together and we can acknowledge that, and we can encourage each other, right? And we can dialogue about it and not be so afraid to put this stuff on the table and say, hey, this is something that we can, tap into. And this, like you mentioned too, brother, like that affects your relationships, right?
Absolutely.
That'll affect the way you communicate with people.
Yeah. I got a question for you, though. I got a question.
Yeah.
Because, really quickly, you know how, like, if attachment theory, right? Some people say, oh, I took a test and it came out I'm secure. They have this idea that they don't have any work to do, right? They don't have any work to do because they're secure. Or say, I'm a star seed, or I'm an old soul, or I'm an ancient soul, or, I'm even the black sheep of my family, and I'm the truth teller. And a lot of people forget, even though you're the one who calls everybody out as the truth teller, you still have your own issues that need this communion, this conversation, this discussion. Just because you're gifted doesn't mean you don't have challenges that have to be worked out from the inside out. And so many people that may have a little bit of a gift or a special gift, it almost handicaps them because they think, I don't have to do any work. But the work is for everybody. The truth teller, the prophet, the followers, the guru. The work is for everyone. Am I right or wrong on that?
Yes. I wanted to shout so many times. I had to put myself on mute. That's so accurate. We get that. You're in, first of all, we'll cap it with, you're in this incarnation because you have work to do, period. You're not here just to be leader. Even Jesus experienced pain, right? If we want to go biblical, you're not just here just to be pretty and a shining light. Some of us are called to show what the embodiment of faith is going to look like by tried and true, right? And we're going to also have to dig into the energies and the shadows of ourselves in order to even be able to illuminate that truly for anybody else. If you can't sit with yourself and you can't sit with your own emotions and the times you've been emotionless when you needed to be emotionful, right? And all the things and feel your way through, then that's a trauma. That's gonna echo into your work and your relationships, and no one's above the work. So
no one's above
the important thing.
No one's above the work. Oh, wait a minute. We got more. I got more now. I got more. So if we say the narcissist is a demon that needs to be exorcised, we say the narcissist is a demon that needs to be exorcised. Well, guess what? If the demon is tormenting you, the demon can, and if you look at all these movies, this is how it goes down. The demon only torments what it recognizes in you. So if you've sinned, if you've committed adultery, if you've lied, if you've manipulated, if you've stolen, if you've used, the demon will say, priest, what you doing in here? You're not worthy to cast me out. You just like me. The narcissist flips it around. This is why they say never pull the narcissist's mask off, because the narcissist will attack your humanity to say, how dare you call me out on mine? when in fact you still struggle. But that doesn't allow, or many demons think they can take your humanity and use it as a coupon for them to continuously project their darkness and their self-loathing onto you. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so I think that we can only identify, or I feel, excuse me, I'm a Cancer, right? I like to feel. I feel like we can only connect with energy that is resident within our being to begin with.
There we go. Yes.
If you don't identify, if I told you I was an alien, you wouldn't believe it unless you were an alien yourself, right? So anything that I can see in you, anything I can see in another, anything I can connect with, be it metaphysical or physical, right? Is because it's something that I'm dealing with, or I've dealt with, or I'm still currently processing, right? And so, yeah, it's easier to cast that shadow onto others and shine that work on what they need to do. But how do you identify that, right? How are you able to even identify that that's the area of work that's needed, right? Unless that's something that you have danced the dance with, you know, and have you developed a tincture to alchemize that or work through that or heal those wounds, or have you just sat in that and, like you said, project that energy? Is that your way of going about healing or elevating or, you know, contributing to the collective quote unquote energy?
I love it. You know what? You are more than welcome to call in anytime, Reverend Soulflower. You brought Las Vegas, Nevada in the building. If you was feeling her like I was feeling her, all you got to do, call in 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, my niece is going to close it out.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Tips to help improve basic steps for building a budget in 2024. Building a budget can help you achieve and reach your financial goals. With a budget, you can keep track of your spending, avoid and get out of debt, limit overspending, pay bills on time, and build solid savings habits. What's the best way to get started? Figure out how much to set aside for expenses, like rent, mortgage, bills, groceries, and entertainment. Understanding your past financial habits can help you make the proper adjustments for your budget. Adjusting to a budget can take time as you work to find the right balance, but keep working on it. For more financial health tips, visit chase.com or stop by a local branch. This segment is sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition smart bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Wasn't ready to be no millionaire. I was ill prepared. I was prepared to be ill though. The skill was there. From the beginning, it wasn't about the ends. It was about busting raps and standing for something. Fucking acronym, cut the fucking act like you're happy. I'm fucking back again with another anthem. Why stop when it doesn't have to end? It ain't over till I say it's over. Enough when I say enough. Throw me to the wolves and close the gate up. I'm afraid of.
Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR back in the building. You already know what it is. We've come full circle. Man, tonight was a heavy topic, a deep topic, a meaningful topic. Hopefully we gave you some context. I want to bring in my niece, Attila from Houston, Texas. Attila, get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Yes, sir. Real quick, because I know I don't have much time, but I do believe when it comes to scapegoating, I've experienced it, family, work, all those different things. I feel like it is a never-ending saga of the rejection wound. And this is why it repeats in our lives a lot of times, just with different characters. So that's it.
No. What is the rejection wound? What in the world?
Well, in order to be scapegoated, I would need to have been rejected, right? Especially if it's an early wound with family. And it's that feeling, that word that tells you that you were not enough, that there's something missing, there's something wrong with you. And so inevitably, you attract experiences to you that confirm that belief when you haven't learned anything different.
Is there a difference between the rejection wound and the worthiness wound, or are they one and the same?
I think you can have both. I feel like worthiness is simply, am I worthy? Rejection is, do they want me? But I could be wrong on that.
But it's boy, those cross currents.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
That's powerful. Attila, you know I love
through
it
it now.
Come on, we gonna get through it. I love Attila, man. She calls in, she drops jewels, she helps with topics. It's amazing. The VOR got a whole family across the country. Attila, guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. The scapegoat often embodies qualities the narcissist both envies and fears, such as authenticity, emotional intelligence, or an unyielding pursuit of truth. In this toxic dynamic, the scapegoat becomes the repository of the narcissist's unprocessed shame. This is ugly. Rage and internal inadequacies, serving as a psychological whipping post that sustains the narcissist's fragile ego. According to Ross Rosenberg, the observe, don't absorb technique can be a crucial tool for scapegoats, allowing them to disengage emotionally from the narcissist's manipulation and maintain their sense of self in the face of relentless blame shifting. Right? Blame shifting serves as an effective tool for the narcissist's inability to self-regulate, a defense mechanism that externalizes their internal conflict, right? The family scapegoat who refuses to conform to the narcissist's demand for control and admiration often bears the brunt of this tactic. Recognizing blame shifting can empower scapegoats to reclaim their narrative, understanding that the narcissist their accusations are reflections of their own insecurities. Now, peep game. You go to my family, they're going to tell you there was never a kid in our family that was badder than him. Like, they judge all bad kids based off of the level of badness I was as a child. Yeah, but is he as bad as Zoe? Yeah, you remember Zoe when he was you remember him? Right? It's like I have stained their memory because I was that kid that wanted to walk his own path, that didn't want to listen to anybody, that didn't want to be guided or instructed by anyone. And I really was able to cultivate a unique voice within my family, and it stands that way today. Like my uncles, and I remember my uncles. I remember my uncle who, when we were younger, I mean, we were kids, of course, he had a deal with the local shoe guy. And the guy who sold shoes would give us free shoes because my uncle did some deal with him. I don't know what he did, but we would get shoes for our YMCA tournaments that we were in every summer. And this is how I was introduced to basketball. My uncle would put me in the game, and I had a natural proclivity for basketball, and I was athletic and I could play. And it was one game I scored like 50 points in the first half. And so my uncle was like, I'm going to take him out, and we're already beating the team. But I was so upset he wouldn't allow me to score more. I just put my clothes on and left the gym. Now, mind you, he gave me a ride there, but I was the type of kid, so I got to let somebody else get theirs in? All right, cool, I'm out. I was that kind of kid. I didn't follow rules. And, same in school, didn't follow rules. But out of school, I was the first one to start a business. And my uncle was like, but you didn't go to business school. How is it that you own a shop in Altadena and you're doing business? And he was like, okay. And he started to pour into me even more because he understood that, I was on my own kind of path. When I was a kid, I was ridiculed by the family. Like, what are you doing? You're wasting your intelligence. You're this, that, and the third. I used to get hit hard with it. I've even had women that I dated who were raised a different way say to me directly, your mother should have whooped you more. But I think I came a long way. I think 5 books later, and on the radio changing people's lives, I think the path that I was on is the path that I was supposed to be on. It ain't nothing but love. I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. You already know what it is. I'll be back tomorrow with another slapper.
Just stop it right and old lady out the basement on one floor where it's vacant. She feeling anxious to be out where it's dangerous. So kick up out of chains, hit especially I bang it. Okay, Jamaican Spanglish, she mixed up in the language. Hey, back that wipe me drain and just have it if you sang it. Okay, that bird can she just need some encouragement.